Thank you for joining us on ERi-TV English News Broadcast. It's now exactly 10:30 p.m. Asmara time, and we are ready for domestic and international news for Friday, the 17th of October. Reporting live from our headquarters in Asmara and inviting you to stay with us is Heaven Johans, your news anchor for this session. I present you the major headlines. Meeting of Minister of Justice with the reconciliation committees. Training on arts to youth in the northern Red Sea region. And in our international report, Russia and Morocco discuss on improving bilateral relations. And gunman ambush in northwest Nigeria leaves 28 dead. To begin with, the central region. Ms. Fawzia Hashim, Minister of Justice, conducted a meeting with reconciliation committees from all subzones in the central region. The objective of the meeting was to review the activities of the reconciliation committees since their establishment a year ago, particularly regarding their modalities of resolving community issues. At the meeting, a detailed assessment was conducted on the achievements registered and the challenges encountered. Minister Fawzia said that the armed struggle for Eritrean independence was based on the people, participated in by the people, and owned by the people, serving as the foundation for ensuring the social sovereignty of the Eritrean people. Minister Fawzia further stated that the Ministry of Justice will continue to work earnestly to nurture and preserve national values, combat negative attitudes, and ensure unity, stability, and development within the society. Underlining the significant role of the community-based legal system, Minister Fawzia called for the active participation of all concerned bodies. In the central region, there are 415 elected members of reconciliation committees operating across the 83 administrative areas in the region. The Department of Culture and Sports in the Northern Red Sea region has provided training to 50 youth on the concepts of drama, dance and poetry. The training was organized in the port city of Massawa. Indicating that the trainees were youth with a keen interest in the arts, Ms. Zainab Amar, Director General of Culture and Sports in the region, said that the participants were selected from the Ministries of Marine Resources and Education, as well as from the regional administration and the defense forces. Mr. Mohammed Said Osman, one of the trainers, noting the significance of the training and the development of the artistic work in the region, commended the enthusiasm and the trainees demonstrated during the program. Emphasizing the importance the department attached to the arts, Mr. Kibram Anda Mikhail, Managing Director in the region, highlighted the contribution of art to the nation-building process and the enhancement of national identity. He called on the trainees to further develop their skills through practical engagement. Moving on, the southern region, Mr. Kubram Miskinna, Head of Water Development in the Maimina subzone, said that strong efforts are being exerted in collaboration with the public, the southern region administration and members of the defense forces to ensure potable water supply to the semi-urban center. The project includes the establishment of water wells operating with drills and solar systems, as well as the installation of over 6 kilometers of water pipelines. Mr. Kibram commended the strong participation of the public and members of the defense forces and called for reinforced engagement in the implementation of the development programs being undertaken in the subzone. The residents of the semi-urban center expressed readiness to strengthen their participation in the implementation of the set-out development programs and commended the contribution of the members of the defense forces. In a related news, an assessment meeting on the community-based rehabilitation program has been conducted in the Amhara subzone. The meeting, which brought together village committees and administrators from the 18 administrative areas in the subzone, was organized by the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare branch. At the meeting, a report focusing on the implementation of the rehabilitation program, outlining the achievements registered and challenges encountered, was presented by Mr. Sabhatullah Georgis, Head of the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare branch. The participants conducted extensive discussions on the issues raised and adopted various recommendations. This wraps up our domestic news for this session. Dear viewers, we'll now be back with the international news after the short break. Our focus now shifts to the global arena. Morocco's Foreign Minister Nasser Bourita has stated that his country views Russia as a close and valued member. His remarks came after talks with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Thursday. Speaking in Moscow, Foreign Minister Nasser Bourita noted that Morocco sees Russia as a serious player on the international stage and, just as importantly, an honest negotiator who can always be trusted. The foreign minister emphasized the long-standing nature of bilateral ties, adding that cooperation with Russia is not against anyone and is aimed at promoting peace across the Arab world and Africa, where Moscow, he said, has a positive influence on solving many problems and contributes to strengthening stability and security. The ministers exchanged views on current issues of the international agenda, with particular reference to the situation in the Middle East, North Africa and the Sahara-Sahel region, as well as the settlement in Western Sahara, and welcomed the ceasefire in Gaza. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov also expressed his country's gratitude for Morocco's balanced, considered position on the situation in Ukraine. The relationship of Russia with African countries is reported to have been improving. And now a look on the continent of Africa. Gunmen ambushed a security personnel in Nigeria's northwestern Zamfara state and killed at least 28 people, the state's governor has stated. The attack took place Thursday in Zamfara state's Safa area and killed 5 police officers and 3 members of a local paramilitary group that works with the police, according to the governor of the state, Dauda Lau. No group immediately claimed responsibility for the killings. However, there are assumptions that the military group Boko Haram could be behind the attack. Such attacks are common in Nigeria's northern region, where local herders and farmers often clash over limited access to land and water. In recent months, there has been an increase in attacks by armed groups who kidnap residents for ransom in northwestern Nigeria and particularly in Zamfara state. Nigeria is also battling to contain Boko Haram insurgents in the northeast, where some 35,000 civilians have been killed and more than 2 million displaced. This is according to the United Nations. In today's final report, South Korea kicked off its largest ever arms fair today with 3 days of public air shows at an air base, including flights by its newly developed KF-21 fighter jets. Organizers said a record 600 companies from 35 countries were scheduled to participate in the Seoul International Aerospace and Defense Exhibition ADEX 2025. The air show will be followed next week by business exhibitions. Earlier this month, South Korean President Lee Jae-myung said that the country's defense budget for next year would rise by 8.2% to 66.3 trillion won, equivalent to $47.1 billion as it faces more tensions around the region and a nuclear-armed North Korea. This wraps up our domestic and international news for this session, dear viewers. Let's take a quick recap of the major headlines. Meeting of Minister of Justice with Reconciliation Committees. Training on arts to youth in the northern Red Sea region. Russia and Morocco discuss on improving bilateral relations. And gunmen ambush in northwest Nigeria, leaves 28 dead. This was The World on Friday with ERi-TV English News Broadcast. Dear viewers, from all of us here, we thank you for watching and have a good night.